Well, welcome everyone to another live gardening chat. And I am so thrilled to have Amir here today from Amir's Allotment. And I imagine a lot of you are very familiar with him. But if you're not, you need to go and check out his channel. And his videos are lovely.
Oh,
Lovely.
thank you,
And
Audrey.
oh, yeah. And you always give a little nod to nature when you're filming.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, I love that.
I've never seen a bird eating out of a hand before until I saw some of Amir's videos. So it's a robin that does that with you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Firstly, thank you so much for having me again. It's
Oh,
great to be back. I just enjoy these chats. It's like the last time we just ran out of time.
we did.
It's we just get sort of it's one of those things, isn't it? Really, where you just sort of chat all things gardening, and before you know it,
Well, I
you know,
think we all are slightly garden nerds, and we like to
100%.
talk about it. We like to do it. We like to hear what other people are doing. So yeah, I think it's a great wholesome activity. How's that? Even though sometimes I'm
Absolutely.
not terribly wholesome when when a flat of something didn't uh, germinate. Not
Yes.
always
Yes.
wholesome when that comes up, but I try. I try at least not to put that on the internet.
Yeah.
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 So we were just having a little catch up before we started. Let me just say hi to those quickly in the chat. Seeing a lot of familiar faces, I guess familiar names.
Mhm.
Uh, we've got Shell Space and Andrew and Rob, Mel, Jace, Jersey Dave, Joe is here. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. Trolled and Stephen from Urban White Buffalo Farm. Pauline, Desty. Oh wow, yeah, we have a
Hello,
nice.
everyone.
Yeah, hello. And if I missed you, I apologize, but it's time to chat. So,
Yes.
so I was telling Amir that I think we are actually having our last frost tonight. Like we're going
Yes.
down below zero and not below zero, but below 32, which for the Celsius group is zero, but we're going down to like 30 or 31. And some rumors said 25. I'm going to be shocked if we go that low because
So,
that's like really cold. Uh, so I think after today, we're going to be out of the, we're going to be out of harm's way.
great.
So I call this one it's go time because I'm thinking we're all getting to that point where frosts are not the number
Mhm.
one thing we're worried about. It's
Yeah.
still it's still rainy because it's spring. It's still really windy. So there are a lot of other things maybe that we
Yes.
can be concerned about than that one.
Yeah, definitely. Now that the sun is out here, we're all racing to be in our gardens and on our
Oh yeah,
allotment.
the itch is here. And
100%.
I think the only thing that scratches that is getting out there and getting some things in. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Amir was saying how he's been very busy with work and various other things, but he's got more than just allotment stuff going on, don't you?
Yeah, that's right, Audrey. Yeah, well, last year I spent a lot of time on my allotment, and my wife was saying I was neglecting my garden at home a little bit. And this year I feel now like it's a bit the other way around because I'm spending quite a bit of time here in my garden because ideally what I want to do is create some growing space here where I can have just the stuff that like a kitchen garden, really anything that
Right.
we can literally just take from the garden, like all the herbs and some of those veg that literally we can do within the kitchen straight away. So I'm hoping to create that. So I'm going to start off with about, my plan is around 4 beds. So just literally just framed raised beds, no dig,
Mm-hmm.
with some wood chip paths in between. And also I'm clearing out an area because I'm really hopeful for a polytunnel, but I'm working on my wife
Mm.
at the moment because she keeps saying to me, "You've got a greenhouse at the allotment, you've got this conservatory which I've completely taken over here at home with seeds. So so she's like, and but I know that, to be honest, even with the polytunnel, you'll soon fill it up. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, as
So
soon as you get a new growing space, that's all you need.
it's yeah, that's it. Yeah. And it's because, really, to be honest, the reason why I would like it is because I've actually sown a lot of melons this year,
Okay.
because last year they did well, but I only had a small greenhouse. So I had about, in total, I must have harvested about four cantaloupe melons and three small sugar baby watermelons. And they were brilliant. Honestly, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
great. So I would. That's why I was thinking polytunnel, bit more room, get a
Yeah.
few more in there. So I've already started off more than I probably should have, and yeah, so that would be really nice.
Well, and that will give you maybe another bargaining chip to
Yeah, yeah,
polytunnel, like, "Look at all these melons we're gonna
yeah,
have."
yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly,
and
exactly.
there's nothing like picking a melon out of the garden and just opening it up and
Yeah,
enjoying it.
absolutely.
Oh,
Oh,
they're
it's
so good. Yeah.
yeah.
I have not yet started mine, but we're about a
Hmm.
week away from getting them going.
Sure,
One of
sure.
my favorite things to grow.
Yeah, I do find,
Absolutely.
especially now when it's quite getting warmer, the seeds, yeah, they'll germinate a lot quicker and they catch up
Oh,
really
yeah.
well. And so,
Uh,
yeah, you still
yeah,
have
I'm
lots of
even
time.
thinking of just, sowing mine directly into the
Oh, yeah.
ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you
Brilliant.
wait long enough, that's at least here, that's a good option. And
Sure.
just doing one less thing on the inside of the house. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm ready to move into nature, not
It
play.
sounds like a plan. It
Doesn't
does
it?
sound like a
Yeah.
plan. I've also got the other reason, because on our allotment we have some quite strict rules, so we can't have like poultry. And I'd
Okay.
like to get some chickens so I can have them at home.
Okay.
So that's another reason why I'm doing a little bit more in the home garden, because it would be nice to have some chickens as well. And that's coming up very soon because we should be going to get some. So that'll be great.
Oh, so now you're going to get chicks or chickens?
They should be point of lay. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they should be ready, quite
Okay.
grown.
Oh, just think of all
And
the wonderful compost you will get from all your
exactly,
chickens.
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
That's definitely one of those animals that it's like full circle quite quickly,
yes.
right? They give you eggs, they give you
Mhm.
compost, and they will eat your kitchen scraps or things that
Yeah,
you take out of so, I just think it's like, wow, that is a
yeah.
fabulous animal to have.
A win-win. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a good idea here as well. So yeah, it's all going on at the moment. Yeah,
So, you're juggling
yeah, very much so, very much so.
or spinning plates, however we wanna look at that, but
Yeah,
yes. Okay. Okay, Leanne's agreeing that chickens are always exciting, and they're really cute. I like the ones that have the little feathers on their feet, so
that's
it
the
looks
type that I'll be
oh,
getting. Yeah, yeah,
so
they
they look
are.
like they're wearing pantaloons. I mean, it's
That's
so
right.
cute,
Yeah, like little trousers.
so cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they don't even look like it I don't know, to me, they don't look like chickens, they look like
yeah,
this other little bird that's just adorable.
they are. They are.
So you can't have them on your allotment?
Yeah, or no, I mean,
Okay.
usually most allotments do allow them, because yeah, it's like a bit of a tradition really with poultry, and I think in the last episode we were talking about some people keep pigeons on their
Mhm.
allotments. It's been going on for years, but yeah, with our site they don't allow it. But then it's because it's not a very big site either.
Right.
It's quite a there's not very many allotments, and also our allotments are not as big as some of the other plots that we see on YouTube. They're probably considered half plots, so they are
Okay.
smaller. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I know the camera doesn't always sort of pick that up. It probably looks massive on screen,
It
but
looks
in
quite big,
reality,
actually, just
yeah, in
because there's nothing
reality they're
around
not.
it. Everything around
Yeah,
it is pretty much flat, so it looks
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's it.
Now I
Yeah,
had the opposite thing. I did a drone shot of my yard because 'cause
sure.
I'm a backyard gardener,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of people go, "Oh my goodness, that's so much bigger than I thought."
Hmm.
And I thought, "Well, it looks like I mean, but I guess it looks smaller on
Yeah,
YouTube." So that's
yeah,
fine. It's still
yeah,
plenty to try to keep up with, so I'm fine with
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Uh, so are you doing anything different in the back garden? Like growing anything
Um,
different or
I think I should really experiment, to be honest, because we've got a south-facing back garden, and
nice.
it's really really warm. I mean, even now I can feel it in the conservatory, but we've also got a lot of tender plants like ornamentals. I have banana trees,
Okay.
palm trees. The palm trees that I planted in the garden, I knew because it was a south-facing garden, and they're hardy palms, but they were really small when I bought them about 6 years ago. So
Okay.
I think we moved in, and within a year I bought these small palms that must the trunks must have been no bigger than about 40 centimeter trunks, and now they've shot up. I mean, in 6 years, they're about, yeah, they're taller than me now. So yeah,
Wow.
they are growing quite tall, and they're fan palms. I think they're called Trachycarpus fortunei, which is a hardy palm. So they even if our temperatures drop, they're really hardy.
Okay.
I think a couple of years ago we had like a -10, and yeah, and I know a lot of people lost things like cordyline and things like that, but these just, yeah, I don't protect them. They're absolutely fine.
Which
I've
it
got
to me is
bananas.
the beautiful
Yeah,
thing about an outdoor plant, like
yeah,
sink or swim. I've given you
yeah.
everything I can,
That's it.
and
That's it.
you
Yeah,
have enough to take care of whatever you need to.
yeah.
Yeah, because you don't wanna
Absolutely.
babysit,
Yeah, yeah.
bushes or trees
Exactly. And
if you
even
don't have
like
to.
tender plants like cannas that have grown
Yeah.
out there, I don't remove them from the ground. Even my dahlias
Wow.
on the allotment, I leave them in the ground. I just mulch them, but I don't take them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just seeded some dahlias or
Oh, nice.
dahlias,
Yeah.
however we say it,
Mhm.
uh, and I've never grown them from seed before, so I'm gonna see if it might be just a
Oh,
nice annual plant. 'Cause I
that
don't
would
know
be
if I'm
really
gonna
nice.
we just get so cold for so long. That's
Yes.
part of the it would just dip down and dip back up, we'd be better, but no, it
Mhm.
stays down for 6, 8 weeks, so
Sure.
there's no coming back from a lot of that.
I
Hey
think when we last spoke, Audrey, you did say that you were planning to do more flowers this year.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I have,
Brilliant.
2 flats that I just sowed yesterday of zinnias,
Oh,
and I
brilliant.
haven't even gotten into my sunflowers yet, or I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I ordered a new kind, it's a Van Gogh sunflower
Oh,
mix.
oh,
Yeah,
really? Oh, that
yes.
that
So I
that
can't
sounds
wait to get
amazing.
those. I thought I'd wow, I can't wait to see those. So it's a
That
new,
sounds amazing.
yeah, it's a new he's called Sunflower Steve, and all he does
Okay.
is breed sunflowers. I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Okay." So this is his lovely, lovely, Van Gogh mix, so I'm very excited.
Oh,
Very
I'm going
excited
to be
about
I'm
that.
definitely going to be looking out for that then, because they sound good. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and every year, I guess it changes a little bit because he's still trying to stabilize it, but I
Mhm.
think, I'll take it. That's
Yeah.
stable
Yeah.
because that's kind of the fun to see what
Yeah.
these are all gonna grow into.
Last year I did a mix. It was called an autumn mix, but in there, what was really nice was there was some really really pale. They were almost white
Mhm.
sunflowers, and they looked amazing. Yeah, I've still got to send some to Ali, but what happened was I tried to save the seed, and I lost it, and I left the rest for the birds. That's probably why the birds have moved in on my allotment plot, because
We get a lot of food here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. So they've moved in all their family now. They're I think they're nesting, and yeah. So clearly I gave them an invite, but yeah, I've got some more to send her really, because yeah, she was admiring them. They're almost like they were like a magnolia, sort of off white.
Okay.
They were lovely. They were
Now,
so nice.
do you get pro cut, sunflowers in the UK?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because
yeah.
they have a lovely I think it's called white light,
Oh,
and
right, okay.
very, very light around the edges, and then it has, like, a very pale yellow center.
Oh,
They're
nice, nice.
just beautiful,
Yeah,
just
that sounds nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what's everybody saying? I saw some conversation going on around mac and cheese. Not sure where that came from. Uh, uh, let's see, anything else? Well, we're talking about chickens a little bit too. Uh, Okay, so if you have anything that you would like us to see or talk about or question whatever, if you could capitalize it, that will absolutely catch my attention. Uh, and Amir is on his phone because we had some technical stuff, so he's not able to see the comments. So
Yeah.
that would just help me a great deal because I sure don't want to ignore you. So yeah, sunflower. I'm trying to think what other flowers I still have not yet. There's some that really come right at the end,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
zinnias. They'd only need to grow for a couple of weeks before they go out.
Yeah.
So and I have a lot of those. So yeah, I think vegetables are gonna take a slight
Yeah.
back seat. We'll see.
Yeah.
I tend to overplant, so,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, do we do what we can.
Yeah.
So you have started putting some things in your allotment. I think I've seen you seeding
Yeah.
things.
That's right. What happened was I've sown some this last weekend gone on Sunday. I've planted a whole row of gladioli bulbs because I love them again for cut flowers.
Yeah.
Um, my colleague at work was like, "That was a lot of bulbs that you were planting there. Like, where did you get them from?" My habit is like even when I go to the shops, I'll just keep buying them. Um, and I don't bring them in the house because my wife will be like, "Are you spending more money on plants?" So
Yes.
I just leave it. I end up
Yes,
leaving them
don't
in my
ask me
car boot,
anything. Yeah, assume that I am.
and they just like sort of like I just build up this like collection, and
Yeah.
so I didn't realize how many I had, and yeah, so I planted a whole row of gladioli bulbs on the weekend, and before that though, because we were flooded quite a bit, all my overwintered garlic and onions, they just
Oh,
yeah, they
okay.
just rotted away really. There's probably a couple of garlic in there. There's not very much. So yeah, I but what I did was just before spring, I'll call it spring, so around spring,
Yeah.
I did plant some more garlic and some shallots and some onions, and I've still got my onions from seed here at home that I need to take out onto the allotment and plant them out. So yeah, I'll be doing more of that now. Yeah.
Yeah. You also didn't you sow some cilantro or coriander?
Coriander, that was last year. I was
Okay.
planning to. This is the right time to do it while it's
Oh
still
yeah.
quite cool,
Yeah.
because otherwise it just bolts. So yeah, I'm hoping this weekend to do that because yeah, I get carried away with that as well. I will. We can never have enough of that, to be honest.
No.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
luckily, no one in my family has the gene that says it tastes like soap. So
right, right. Yeah,
I use it actually as a salad ingredient, not
yeah,
just like something
yeah,
you add, like a
yeah.
little garnish. Oh, we
Yeah.
have a question for Amir from Robin. Amir, do you have to stake the glads? If so, how do you do it?
Ah, that's a really good question. To be honest, last year I didn't, and they were okay. But sometimes I was thinking because some of the varieties, especially this year, I think are going to be taller. So what I will likely do is I'll just get sort of shorter bamboo canes
Mhm.
and just tie string along them and
Yeah.
just keep them sort of compacted in between on both sides really. I think that's what I will do because yeah, that's actually a really good question because I did realize this weekend I was thinking some of these bulbs are massive, so they are going to be quite tall plants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But how
yeah.
stunning when they have all those flowers going up
Oh,
that
amazing.
stalk. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
absolutely gorgeous.
I always find as well they seem to attract less pests as well, so they seem to be even better as cut flowers because you don't tend to get any bugs on the inside very much. They
Yeah,
And like
like,
sometimes you get them in the dahlias and things like that, but with gladiola, I find I've never had that
maybe
really.
they're
So
too tall and they're like, "A little
yeah,
ant is not gonna crawl that high." So,
yeah,
no, there's
yeah,
enough down here. I will
that's
yeah,
a
no,
good point.
that's a
Yeah,
good thing. If you're taking them in the house, you kinda
yeah,
you
yeah,
want a slightly bug-free environment, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
let's see. Yeah, I'm not tracking with a lot of these conversations. but that's okay. Just yeah, I go back and read every comment. So, and just so you know, they come up the day after. I don't know why it takes a day,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh,
for
right.
some reason, because other people use the same software I do, and it's
Yeah.
all right there, but for some reason it takes a day. So,
Oh, wow.
anyway, yeah, so what are you most anxious to get into the ground?
Oh, to be honest, I, I will try again. Last year, I did try some melons outdoors as well, and they didn't work because we sort of had a very it sort of became a bit of a wet summer towards
Mhm.
like sort of later on in the summer, and that we had quite a bit of rain, and that sort of really they just died off. But I
Yeah,
would like to try some of the melons again outdoors because they were starting off really well and they were spreading like a pumpkin. They
yeah,
were just watermelon. I did the sugar baby, and this year I'm doing crimson sweet as well, which is a slightly,
those are both
yeah,
good melons.
really nice
Yeah,
watermelons. So I was thinking I would like to a bit like with the pumpkins, because my I think my plot neighbour's doing the same thing. Is she's putting some sort of ground sheets down and she wants to let them sort of, yeah,
yeah.
run along and grow along the ground. That would be nice to try again. I would like to try it again because you never know if we get a really nice hot summer, then that's it. They'll
They'll do
we should
fine. They love
yeah,
heat. Now, have
yeah.
you ever grown
And
sweet potatoes?
I've never grown sweet potatoes. No,
Okay,
no,
okay. Just curious because 'cause they're
yeah,
also
yeah.
heat
Another
loving
heat
things.
loving.
Unlike
Yeah, veg.
unlike regular potatoes, they love the heat. So
Sure.
anyway, you were finishing up a thought and I kind of
No, sorry, no, sorry. Yeah, it's just with the phone now. I'm sort of still sort of. I feel like I can't hear you in my ear, but I can hear you on my phone.
Oh, okay.
I the other is last year I did a lot of the beefsteak tomatoes, and I did grow quite a lot of them outdoors, and they did surprisingly really well
Yeah,
outdoors. And I was lucky I didn't get any blight or anything like that. So yeah, this year again, some of the larger varieties I would
okay.
like to plant outdoors again and see how that goes. And especially here at my garden at home as well, that'll be really nice.
Yeah,
So
nice to be
lots of
that I
outdoor
feel kinda
tomatoes.
spoiled that all of my stuff is within, 75, 100 feet.
Oh, it's
Uh,
great.
yeah,
Yeah.
so, I it's all a kitchen garden.
Hmm.
Uh,
Brilliant.
yeah, I do feel, very, very blessed to have such an abundance in my backyard.
Yeah.
So are
Yeah.
you
That is.
excited is there a tomato that you really like?
This year I'm trying lots of new ones.
Me too.
I've
And
never done Brad's Atomic Grape before, so that's my
oh,
first
well,
time doing that.
that's a YouTube classic. You gotta
It is now, isn't
yeah,
it?
no, I love it.
It's a bit yeah, yeah, very very infamous on YouTube. I've also got a few like is it Ozark Sunrise and
Mm.
um
Another one I haven't heard of that I need to
yeah, yeah, and Paul Robeson, and yeah,
oh,
that
Paul
stuff.
Robeson is so good.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Oh, you will they're not the
yeah,
highest producer, but they
sure.
are so good. Like, the ones
Oh,
you get,
really?
they're like gold. They're
Oh,
they're
brilliant.
so delicious, so good.
Oh,
Uh,
that would be great. So I'm looking forward to trying those. Oh, and there's so many more, but I just can't probably remember them off the
oh,
top of my
yeah, no,
head.
I'm
Yeah,
starting way more than because I really don't need any this year,
yeah,
other than a couple for fresh eating.
yeah.
I think I'm all over 20 varieties at this point, so it's just the way
Oh,
it
that's
is.
good.
It's just the way it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah.
I
It's
love them,
just it's fun.
and
It's
they're
great.
pretty. So many of the tomatoes now are just beautiful. So I almost feel like it's kind of a cross between a vegetable and or I guess it would be a fruit and
That's right. Yeah,
flower, because they
yeah.
kinda they kinda take both places. Um, so, Claire here is saying she needs to get her squash out soon. Are you Claire, are you growing any different kinds of squash this year, or is it kind of the classic squash? Uh, what do you grow squash, Amir?
Yeah. I last year I did some like bush marrows,
Mhm.
and I didn't know what to do with them. And a neighbour, I gave some to a neighbour, and she made some really nice marrow and ginger jam.
Oh,
Uh, oh, honestly, it was so nice. Like it was amazing. So I did say if I do that again, I would like to try that. We're hoping to experiment with a few jams this year. That would
Okay.
be nice.
Jams are fun,
Yeah,
and they're
yeah,
yeah, and you can get as, like, crazy about it as you want.
yeah,
That's what I
yeah,
think, 'cause sugar is your preservative, so you can kinda get
yeah,
as crazy as you want.
yeah.
Oh,
And
Pauline
I did Turk's turban squash
okay,
last year. Well, the year before last, I did a whole arch. They actually grew really well on an arch.
those
And
are
like
beautiful.
it was like a dwarf arch, and
Yes.
I made it short and grew lots of Turk's turban, which did really really well. But the only thing is they're very tough. I did find that.
Yeah, they're more for decoration, I think, than
Yeah,
for good
yeah,
eating, but they're
yeah.
beautiful for decorate I mean, they're gorgeous,
Amazing. Yeah,
gorgeous.
yeah.
Uh, oh, Claire is growing Crown Prince, which is a
Nice.
classic, and Burgess Buttercup and courgettes. Yeah, gotta watch how many of those courgettes you put in though, don't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are yeah.
I like the small round courgettes. I'm doing those this year. I do them every year.
Okay.
You've just got to sort of pick them when similar to other courgettes, to be honest. If you pick them early, quite small,
I
they're
try to
just sort of
yes,
yes, it's the best.
but it's when
It's
they get big and you missed it and
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
oh,
All
it's
the
like, what do
seeds
you do with
inside.
all that? Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
yeah,
seeds are
exactly. So if
huge.
they're picked really early when they're really quite small, smaller than like a tennis ball, and they're round, they're really nice. They're full of flavor.
Yeah, no, I love them when they're too small. I almost try to get them too small
Yeah,
because,
yeah.
by
So
the
do I.
next day, they're gonna be 6 inches bigger.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I agree. I do the same thing.
oh, we have Tim's Taste of Paradise question here. Uh, nope, that was not it. Something about Sergeant Pepper. Aren't isn't that the Bee Gees? I don't know. Am I dating myself? Probably. Let's see, I think it's one comment up.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go.
I'm trying that as well. Yeah, that's right. That's another one. Tim's Taste of Paradise. It's
Paradise.
yeah.
And do you know the lovely story of that one?
No, no.
Oh my goodness, this seed was developed by a gentleman named Tim, who
Yeah.
was a tomato breeder.
Oh,
It kind of he stopped doing that, and then he passed away, and it wasn't, kinda put out to the public much,
oh,
and this one gentleman from Wild Boar Farms, his name is Brad, uh, hence Brad's Atomic Grape, that's one of his tomatoes.
oh, right.
Uh,
Okay.
he revived the seed and put it out under the name Tim's Taste of Paradise, because
Oh,
Tim was the man who originally, came up with
amazing.
it. I just think that's a lovely story,
That is
and
really nice.
y
Yeah.
yeah, and my understanding is it rivals the flavor of Sun Gold, but doesn't split. So,
Ah, oh, that's good. That is really
yeah,
good.
so I'm all about that. Yeah.
That does sound good. I'm really looking forward to trying that one out. It's one of the ones that Ali sent me. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that one.
Yes. Yeah, so that Wild Boar Farms, uh,
Oh,
the gentleman who's the breeder there is Brad Gates, and I've not tasted a tomato that they produce that is not
really?
really
Oh wow.
good, and they have exotic colors on the outsides, and so Brad's Atomic Grape is a really, really good, I guess, representation of what he does,
Oh
and
really? Oh
since I have a
nice.
son-in-law named Brad, I, of course,
Right.
have to grow that, every year in my garden.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, let's see what else we got here. Uh, so are your peas in yet?
I haven't no, although I have got a variety that can they don't climb, they're like a dwarf pea.
Right?
And I'm going to direct sow them.
Mhm.
But I have got my sweet peas on the go and they're doing really well. So they've all germinated now, so I'm just waiting for them to put on a little bit of size and they can go out. I'm really looking forward to getting my TPs up. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting 2 teepees in my backyard this year. We're
Nice.
we're thinking about doing a garden party at, like, the end of July, and
Yeah.
the person who works with me, on my gardens, has 2 small children, so they have little beds in our backyard, and so I
Oh,
thought it'd be
nice.
fun for them to have little teepees that they can get into,
Oh,
and
that'll be brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah.
because 'cause they're about that size that that would be kinda perfect. So
Oh,
everything
that'll be
tall
good.
is growing up those teepees all
Yeah.
together, so it'll be just be this crazy mess, but I think we'll figure it out. Uh,
That is nice. I just like the instant height that they just give to the garden. And if
oh,
you've got sweet peas and any pea or the runner beans on there, the
ooh,
flowers,
yes.
yeah, it's just so nice.
Okay, so everybody's talking about Tim's Taste of Paradise. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely so I can't wait to taste them this year.
Oh,
I
nice.
I tried them last year. They did not thrive for me.
Oh,
They just
okay.
kind of, curled up and so and at some point, you realize I can't sow another tomato seed and
Yeah.
expect to get a tomato, and that was
Yeah.
my case. So this year, I think I sowed 6 of them to make
Oh,
sure I
nice.
got one that's gonna take
Yeah.
off and do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Nice.
Oh, okay, here's a comment for Amir, from Claire. It gives the garden a bit of a potager kind of look when you have teepees. And that's absolutely that was how I learned to garden, was I
Yeah.
checked out a potager book out of the library, and that's
Yeah.
how I started, and yeah. No, I
Yeah.
think the teepees will be delightful
Yeah. Oh, I
and very
agree.
useful all at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. I do love that. I just love that look, and I like that
Mhm.
exactly interplanting the flowers with the veg, and it just, yeah, it's just such a nice. It's just nice, especially when you can just, yeah, just walk out into the garden and, yeah, amongst the
And just
flowers and
enjoy it all
yeah,
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely,
No, I agree. Lovely.
absolutely. And this year, to be honest, I'm doing a lot of flowers on my allotment just to hide the weeds.
Well,
Because I know there's going to be a lot of weeds. So if there's flowers there, I just look at the flowers and they cheer me up, and then I'm like, and then I forget about the weeds.
now don't they get mad if there's a lot of weeds by them?
To be honest, yes, some allotment places, like some allotments, they do have really strict rules,
Oh,
and
no, no,
yeah,
no, I meant the flowers. Don't the
oh.
flowers get mad? If there's a lot of weeds.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, exactly. They could end up, yeah, being a bit overcrowded, but but the more the merrier. That's what I'm doing. Just literally, just fill it up with color and yeah. But also, to be honest, like with, I don't mind some weeds. Like even the nettles now, I'm not in any hurry to get rid of them because especially early, I mean not so much now because they will get out of control now, but early on in spring because they're really good for the bees.
yeah,
They give them that early nectar and yeah and pollen, and they because you get like purple flowering nettles and the white flowers, and depending on the time they favor different types. But yeah, I yeah, I'm not ever in a rush to sort of get rid of all of them because I do like to leave some for the pollinators, and then you get all the ladybirds and the butterflies, they lay their eggs on there as well, and yeah,
right.
yeah. So and I'm and I don't mind having. Oh, do you know last year? I think was it the last time we spoke, and I mentioned I sacrifice a lot of crops for the
Yes.
wildlife. Yeah, and I'm doing a lot of that again this year because I've got the blue tits that are nesting on my allotment plot. So I thought because apparently when they have chicks, their diet changes and they will have feed on a lot of insects for their chicks,
Okay.
insects and bugs and caterpillars and all that. Um, so yeah, so I'm going to do that again this year. Put some cabbages out to encourage the butterflies for the birds. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we are almost done with our bug bin.
Oh, great. Yeah.
We just have to put, I think, the clock face on and a
Oh,
couple
brilliant.
others.
I
I
really
know,
can't
can't
wait.
it's huge.
Really.
It's way bigger than I thought. This is like a, I don't know, condo for these bugs.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
And I remember that from last year, and I thought, "I know I've
Yeah.
overplanted some brassicas, and I'm just gonna plant those around there."
Oh, you're going to do
But
it.
yeah,
Brilliant. Oh,
just let
brilliant.
them, have it and wildflowers all around it. So that's gonna be, like, kinda my little
Oh,
nature
amazing.
area,
Oh,
because I go between I like it to look natural, and then I love straight rows too. So
yes.
it's like
Yes. Yeah.
it's a combo, and sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard to balance.
I agree with you. To be honest, it's when you see, I don't know how my neighbor, one of my plot neighbors, last year, she had this like strip in her allotment, and it looked like the perfect meadow. So she had the right amount of cornflowers for the blue and the nigella, and then the right amount of red poppies and the white daisies, and do you
Yeah.
know, it just looked perfect. And it's so hard to create that because I've tried, and it
Oh,
just
yeah.
looks a mess. And but they just all seem to just all complement each other, and it looked amazing. And I'd like you're right that there is, yeah, I try it, and you when you get all those mixes and you try that, they don't all
No.
cook or germinate. And but yeah, there is a, yeah, I think it does take quite a bit to do to give it that look.
Oh, yeah, I
um
think to plant something that looks natural
yes,
is
yeah,
very difficult,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, no,
absolutely,
you just
yeah,
kinda have to let it become that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
when you're planting things in, absolutely, it is that's the key that's the hard part,
yeah, yeah.
right? Oh, Claire, that's a great name for it. It's a bug metropolis. It is. I
Brilliant.
mean, the Big Ben part is over 6 feet tall. Like, it's
Oh,
taller than my
really?
husband who was putting it up, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh," so it's probably like 6'3", 6'4".
Oh,
Uh,
that's amazing. That is
yeah,
amazing.
so we'll see, and if the squirrels come near it, I'm gonna have to do something about that.
So what have you put on the inside, Audrey? So have you put things like pine cones and
Pine cones and bamboo that's been
yeah,
cut up, and
brilliant.
we were taking down a butterfly bush, for of something that we're moving, and put all the butterfly bush stems in there.
Oh,
Uh,
brilliant. Yeah.
yeah, so anything oh, and little chunky pieces of wood, like,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
chunky mulch that you can get sometimes. So
Mhm.
my grandson helped my husband put those in when he was here.
Oh,
So it's kinda become a little family event here.
oh,
So, I'm so
that's what it's
excited.
all about. Amazing.
Yeah, can't wait. So we're gonna hopefully maybe even sprinkle the wildflower seeds around it. But
Yeah.
I have to get it out on a video before I,
Yeah.
like, post a picture because that's not fair, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, but
But my husband
I'm really
doesn't like
looking
to
forward to
be
seeing.
my husband doesn't like to be filmed, so there's not
No,
a whole lot of the build involved. It's more the
okay.
reveal.
The
Uh,
reveal. Right.
but I
Mhm.
might put the plans that he kinda scribbled on a piece of paper. I might tighten those up a little bit, put them out if somebody else wants to do it. It was not as, natural as Steve's original one was. You know,
Right.
Steve did
Right.
yeah, he was, like, work with pallets and no, that
Yeah.
Kevin is a woodworker. So
Oh, so you've,
he was
yeah.
like, "No, I can't do that. I just can't do that." I said, "I get it.
Yeah.
You do what you need to do, and the bugs will enjoy it either way."
Oh,
So,
that's brilliant. Oh, I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
I'm
That
just
it's such
excited
a
it's out there.
it's such a good idea, and yeah, it's going to be so good for the yeah, and all year round as well, because you get so many sort of solitary bees that like to
Absolutely, they need a
yeah,
place. So, I'm hoping they will all think of this as their place. And
brilliant.
we have 2 little boys, one
Hmm.
that lives behind us and one that lives next door, and I'm thinking they're gonna love
Oh yeah.
checking out
Yeah.
the bug metropolis as that
Yeah.
I think that's a great name. So they won't be at all upset that there's a lot of bugs. So, I don't know
Yeah,
if
my
it's
son's 10 now, and that's one of the things he still enjoys about coming to the allotment is, yeah, the bugs. And
yeah, I don't
he,
understand that, but
yeah, he
we did a
spends a lot
bug
of time around the compost bin because he once spotted like a slow worm there, and he called it a snake. And yeah, that's it. So it's like, yeah,
yeah, that's I don't get that. I don't think
yeah,
I was ever a bug person.
no.
And then we did a bug special, It was Robin and, Steve from Digwell Green Fingers,
Oh,
and
brilliant. Yeah.
I almost had nightmares because I
Oh,
was studying.
no.
I was like, I mean, I did a lot of research. I wasn't gonna just talk about bugs and not know what I was talking about, but I thought, "These are all out there among all this beautiful stuff," and,
Yeah.
yeah, so I had to not think about that sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, uh, potatoes, are they in?
I've got my first earlies in Red Duke of
Okay,
York this year. Well, I do Red Duke of York every year. Well,
okay,
it was funny. It was funny actually. Last year, I went to the garden centre and I thought I got them because the seed potatoes all look the same, don't they? They're
absolutely,
full of
dirty.
dirt.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unless you give them a bit of a lick, but I don't.
right, and
I
I
don't
think that's I'm
recommend.
like, "What is this dirt exactly?" Yeah.
Yeah, to reveal the color. But yeah, and so I picked them a whole bag full, and brought them home, planted them, and yeah, and then when they were growing, I was thinking that's interesting because Red Duke of York usually has quite dark foliage, and I was thinking that the foliage looked quite light, like a lot lighter than it
Okay.
was the year before, and I was thinking. I wonder if it, and I didn't think much of it. And when it came to harvesting, and I started harvesting it, I realized they were like it was a very white, waxy potatoes. It must have been
Okay.
Charlotte or something like that. And yeah, no, I was a little bit disappointed, but then it was still a good harvest, so it's fine.
Right,
But
but when you're
yeah,
expecting this potato and it's that
yeah,
potato. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. So but yeah, so I've got my Red Duke of York in and another early as well, which I can't remember the name, but it was another red one. And yeah, I've got to get my main crop in yet, which I just do trenches on my allotment plot and just pop them all in.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've got that to do as well. How about you?
N no, I don't have any outside yet. I planted 8 potatoes that I found in my potato basket here at the house,
Sure.
and these were all tomato or potatoes I grew last year, but they
Hmm.
had very long eyes, and
Okay.
they were not for this world anymore. So I planted them,
Yeah.
and so they're about 4 feet tall in my living room. So those are gonna go out tomorrow and find a
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
and I think I'm just gonna top them off, give them maybe 2 feet of their growth and bury them and see what happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Worst case, they don't make it, and n
Mhm.
no harm, no foul. But
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
bought 18 pounds of potatoes to grow this year.
Oh wow.
I know, and I was thinking about it, and I thought, I mean, we like potatoes, but we don't eat them like I mean,
Yeah.
some people eat them with every meal. We're
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. So I'm thinking, "Oh my gosh, I have very overestimated the amount of potatoes." But they're
Mhm.
pretty while they're growing, and they're flowery and green, and
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
not much work.
I
So
just I enjoyed them when it comes to harvesting when you sort of get in
right.
there and you're just excited about how many you're going to get. So they are one of the most exciting things to harvest. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I pull in our little neighbors
Yeah.
who just love to dig in the
Oh,
dirt,
I'm sure they would
and then
love
I
that.
turn the sprinkler on, and they just run them through the sprinkler and get all cleaned up. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah, Robin, I'm you're absolutely correct. I have way overestimated my potatoes. So, yeah, it will be like that year I grew 700 heads of garlic. Oops, by mistake, but I don't grow that many anymore. And
Yeah.
honestly, I haven't grown potatoes for that long
Mhm.
because it always seemed to me like I mean, they're not an expensive,
Yeah.
thing in the grocery store, but then I found potato varieties you can't get in the grocery store.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the game changer for me.
Mhm.
I did see some people talking about Dixondale Farms. Dixon oh, no, was it Dixondale? Yeah. That's one of the purveyors. Dixondale's Onions. Uh, they're like, I think, maybe the biggest purveyor
Oh,
of,
okay.
onions
Mhm.
in the United States. They're like one of the biggest.
Right,
And
right.
when I buy starts, that's where I buy them from.
Hmm.
So I think it was Steve was saying they're really good. You'll like their quality. You absolutely will. They are incredible, and they ship fast. They answer questions. If you have problems, they deal with it. And I live nowhere near Dixondale, but I get them
Oh,
in the
okay.
mail
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
easily. So yeah, that's a very good place if you want to buy starts. Uh, yeah. So do you start your onions from seed or do you do sets?
Yeah, I did last year. I found that the ones that I sowed from seed did so much better.
Oh yeah.
Because again, yeah, I mean, I with sets, to be honest, the red onion for me always bolts. Yeah, I
I
always
hear
I
that
find
from I hear that from everyone who does
everyone says
sets.
that. Yeah, yeah, I think everyone seems to experience the same thing. It's just that they don't get very large, but but last year I found that the ones I sowed from sets, it was just a white onion. I think it was Bedfordshire Champion, and it was just such a large white onion, and it was nice. And so this year I thought, so I started off just after Boxing Day, and I sowed some, and they're all fine. They've actually done quite well, so they can definitely go out. But then because the ones that I put a few in just to overwinter, and they didn't do that well because of the rain. And do you know what? I'm one of these people. You still end up in the garden centre, and you still pick up some more
Absolutely.
sets. Yeah, yeah. So I've picked some more because they were just going cheap because it's that time of the year now where
Yeah,
they just get rid of them. So I picked up some more. So I just thought, do you know what? I'm just going to get them in the ground because even if I just use them as just green, the tops,
right.
just like I use the garlic tops
Absolutely.
as the green garlic. Sometimes if the bulb doesn't do that well, I just pick them green, and we use a lot of that in our cooking. So I just thought I'll just do that anyway if I have to, even if we don't get very large onions.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, got all that to do. Yeah, this weekend
I
hopefully.
know this is a long weekend. You've
Yeah,
packed a lot into this weekend. I've got a new seed that is and Robin, who's in the chat, also
yeah.
has it. It's a cross between an onion and a leek. No, no, no,
Oh,
garlic and a leek. So it's
oh,
called
okay.
garlic. And it
Oh,
looks like a green onion, but has a little bit bigger bulb at the bottom.
oh,
And this
sounds
was bred by a company called Row 7, and they
yes.
are chefs and breeders who like design these things for what a chef might want. So, yeah, Claire is calling it gleek. Yeah, okay.
Brilliant.
Um,
That is
so I'm very anxious to see what these, even if it's just a little mild garlic flavor, I'm thinking,
yeah.
because I
That
grow
that
spring
that would be
garlic
nice.
just for that reason. But I thought, oh, these might even be better
That
because
is nice. That does sound nice. I would like to see what they're like.
doesn't, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I think,
I've do you do Chinese garlic chives?
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, oh yeah,
I tried them. I've got quite a lot in my allotment because again, I like the flowers as well. They have that
absolutely.
those lovely white flowers in autumn.
But if you don't like catch those, they will
Yeah.
be everywhere.
I heard about that. Yeah, they can get a bit. To be honest, I sowed two quite large clumps, and I thought, do you know what? I just like the look of them, so I was like, I'll just they have yeah. This year they've gotten much bigger, so
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, I have
that's good.
a portion of my back garden. I think it's about 35 feet. I have rhubarb at each end
Yeah,
and then regular chives, garlic chives, alternating all the way across.
yeah,
So this in the spring we get the purple flowers from the regular chives,
yeah,
and then we
yeah.
get the white ones later. But I
Later,
have
yeah,
learned it best take them off, all of them,
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
they really like to. Maybe that would be a good thing for
yeah.
you to plant with your weeds. Some
Well,
chive
yeah,
seeds.
yeah. They they,
Because
they
they
are in
kinda
my
can look like weeds, and you don't even you just go, "It's just chives.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
let it
yeah. You
chive,
could
don't
you could
worry
eat
about it."
them. I do like them. I like them. Yeah, I use them like we do with the chives. And they again that nice garlic taste that
Yes.
sort of like not like wild garlic. It's not strong. It's
Right.
very sort of mild, but it's
Yeah, it's not
nice.
like a ramp. It's like just a
Yeah,
it's so subtle.
yeah.
And I have made this is, I think, a Korean. It's Asian. Don't I'm not gonna even try to remember which, Asian country it is. But
Yeah.
you slice them up, the garlic chives, and then you
Yeah.
pour hot oil over them, so they
Oh.
kinda cook, and they become like a condiment.
Oh. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. We
so
we we
good.
do we do that sometimes in our cooking as well. So
Yeah,
what you would do is like say if you do the lentils and you've cooked your lentils and then when you're going to just as you're going to sort of serve,
right.
you then sort of with a little bit of they use ghee sometimes or butter with a
Sure.
little bit of garlic and then give it a flash fry and then pour it
Yes,
on the top. Yeah, yeah.
the
And
best.
it's
It's the
so
best.
nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like you think, "Really?" And it's, "Oh, yes, really." It's
yeah, yeah.
fabulous,
Yeah, it just
fabulous.
completely overwhelms the whole thing. It's just that really strong flavor. Just brings out everything and the fragrance too. Because when you're cooking it, like yeah,
Oh,
you can
yeah,
smell it in the whole house.
and it's
Yeah,
not like the lentil's gonna be lost, but you're
no,
like, "No, this is gonna add to that."
it's yeah,
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 that's
100%.
that's oh, that's a great idea. So I think it's gonna be fun to figure out what to do with these garlics.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah, yeah. That does sound fun.
Yeah, it's
Even
been a
in like
minute since
imagine
I've
in like a leek and potato soup, but with the garlic sort of taste. Like oh,
yeah.
that must be nice.
Oh, that would be delicious.
Yeah.
I love garlic, so as far as I'm concerned, there's never
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Well, I
No
guess there is,
vampires
but
near you then.
yeah, no, so I don't mind. Uh, and luckily my husband does too, so we don't have to,
Yeah.
worry about anything. Uh, oh, that's a great idea, Claire. She's saying maybe I could tempura batter them.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I won't argue with that one. That's sure worth a try. Uh, so
It's a
have
bit
you
like we do that quite a bit. Like I would try and turn anything into a bhaji. So you know, like you get your onion bhajis with I think we use like gram flour. So you tend to mix. I did it with leeks on my. I think I posted it on one of my videos where I got leeks and instead of onion and yeah, mixed it with gram flour and then gave them a little fry like little fritters, and they were fine. But again, yeah, you could probably do that with because we also do it with spinach. We add spinach in there, and you can add chard.
yeah.
Chard tastes really nice in them. Yeah, you can just chuck anything in there, but yeah, that's right though. Imagine that like
Well,
as an
almost
inside as
anything
a
deep
filling.
fried is
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
it's
nice.
good.
I mean,
Yeah,
isn't there a reason it's not the best for us? I don't know
yeah,
because
yeah. That's
but it's you could probably do a shoe and it would still be nice. Uh, have you ever made vinegar with the chive blossoms?
no. I've seen people do it, and yeah, yeah. That does look really
Oh, it is
nice.
so
Yeah,
good. It is
really.
so
Yeah,
good. I've done it with white champagne vinegar and put the lovely rose so you get a little onion
yeah,
flavor and you get the
yeah.
color from the
The
flowers.
flowers.
So
Yeah.
pretty and, makes a lovely oh, deep fried Mars bars here in Glasgow.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I've heard of that.
I saw Nigella. You guys are sure familiar with Nigella, she's
Yeah,
English.
yeah.
She deep fried a Snickers bar, I think, and that's what my daughter one of my daughters wanted for, like, their 8th birthday party. "I don't want a cake. I want tempura fried Snickers bars." And we did it, and they were, incredibly decadent.
Right,
I'm like,
right. Yeah.
"Yeah, just think it honey, this is a birthday gift dessert. This is not we're not adding this to the dessert table." Uh, yeah, those are, again, deep frying almost
Yeah.
anything.
I'll definitely try that, Audrey, with the chives because with the flowers because yeah, this year I was spotted on my chives like the bulbs are quite big already, so yeah, I
Yes,
think they're going to get some big flowers this year.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I just like to get them off too before they go to seed
yeah, yeah.
because, man, They do like to spread their wings. Okay, I saw, let's see. Let me just see if there's any other. Now, okay, here's a good question. Do you start like your sprouts, your Brussels sprouts now and let them grow through the entire summer?
I really should, because I didn't do that last year, and they were ready in March. Yeah, so yeah, probably, to be honest, it's probably a good thing to do that.
Okay.
I know some people do, because yeah, I tried. Was it Red Ball last year? And yeah, they
Yeah.
were really late, really late. Yeah, so I didn't get my timing right. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I tend to grow those more for the leaves,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
am trying some colettes this year. So
Oh, nice.
those
Yeah,
just look so
they
interesting.
do.
So
Yeah.
I'd
they-
love to see what those are. Oh, here, Locke has a question. Hi, Locke. I didn't see you earlier. Uh, well, that's a good question. If you can only grow one dish, what would it be, and what do you need to grow for it?
Oh, that is a really good question.
Wow, this is almost a Sophie's choice.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, ooh. Feel free to jump in, Amir, if you get it before
I
I
know.
do.
I'm thinking too, really, to be honest. Like, because I said earlier, I just turn anything into a bargee. I'd probably just just grow every ingredient and just put it all together, like,
Yes.
But
Uh,
there are certain things that work really well together, and that is it is really, really nice. But I was thinking that last year, because I literally I walked onto the plot and I thought, do you know what? I felt like a ploughman sandwich, and I thought, do you know what? I could probably just grab some lettuce, grab some cucumber, tomato. I just didn't have the pickles, but I could have bought them
yeah,
from home. Just chuck them all into a sandwich. But yeah, yeah, no, that is a really good question. But yeah, what would it be? I do like every year. I mean, depending on the season, but every year I will always do. We always do leek and potato soup. So
mhm.
um,
It's a
so
classic.
when the
It's so
leeks are
good.
ready, when the
Yeah,
leeks are ready, and you just need to pick the potatoes, and yeah, yeah, perfect.
that's a good classic. Yes.
Very classic.
Uh, I was thinking onions for some reason because they're so versatile.
That
And
is,
I know some friends of mine who the husband like won't eat garlic or onions, and I
yeah,
think, how do you cook? That's usually
yeah,
the first two ingredients I start with, and
yeah.
then go, okay, now what are we doing? Um, so it might be onions, because I do a caramelized onion that
Oh yeah,
I can, and like we just took them out the other day, and I thought these are the best. It's like
amazing.
candy in a jar, and it's an onion.
Yeah,
So yeah, that might be
and the
my pick.
different types of onion, like you get some that are quite sweet as well, like really sweet.
Yes.
And I find as well, like abroad, they're so different. In when I went to Kashmir, they were a bit bigger than a chive, but they were pink, like pink, quite like pink onions, and
Mhm.
they weren't as strong and pungent as our red ones here.
Right.
And but it was amazing because every dish tasted quite sweet,
Yeah.
because they were quite a sweet onion. It's amazing,
And
isn't it?
and those usually are the onions that won't store as well. So
Yes.
you
Oh yeah.
kind of have to do something with those, and I think I did use a sweet onion to make this caramelized.
Ah,
I bought Vidalias, which come from the South, and it's like eating sugar, and I made that's why those are so good. I did it with a sweet onion because I knew
yeah.
I couldn't store those for long.
That's
Uh,
a good one.
gosh, now I wanna go, like, start, I don't know, going through
Making
some.
something.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a late lunch, early dinner here, yeah,
Yeah,
getting
it is
hungry.
that though, to be honest. I think it sort of goes hand in hand. I'm such a foodie, and I just love, we try anything, like, and try and make different things as well, not like to repeat them. Like now with the rhubarb, we've done our rhubarb crumbles and we've done our rhubarb, like we're going to try the jam. But also, again, we also, you can put them in a bhaji, like literally in an onion bhaji. You can fry rhubarb and it tastes, it's different. It's very different. So more savory, but yeah, and it doesn't have to be as sweet. It just has that rhubarb
Right.
flavor.
I saw it recently in a savory dish,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
thought, "Never thought of using it that way." And I
yeah.
think my 2 crowns this year are gonna be big enough to harvest from. So
Oh,
that might be fun to,
yeah. Go
fiddle with
big.
that. Make a
Yeah,
sauce for something savory.
yeah,
That'd be
yeah.
lovely.
Nice,
Well, oh
nice.
my goodness, we're at an hour already.
Oh, really? Oh, where did that time go?
Exactly. Where did that time go? Uh, oh, we'll leave it on this one because I
Yeah,
grew up in a Scottish home in the United States, so black pudding was something we had all the time, and we went to the Scotch butcher in Windsor, Canada, to pick up things like, black pudding because they didn't
right.
have them here.
You get, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
but that sounds deep fried black which ours was essentially deep fried
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah,
well, because they put so much grease in the pan. It's
yeah, yeah.
essentially it's not a saute, it's definitely like a fry,
It's right.
in a nice beer. I've never had it battered. Interesting.
It
I've
is.
never had it battered. That sounds really good. Um, okay. So, thank Amir, you're just lovely to talk with. I could do this, for another hour,
Oh,
but
thank you for having me again,
oh,
Audrey. It's been a pleasure.
yeah,
I enjoy it
you're just
all the
wonderful to
time.
talk with. And thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Uh, you are all serious gardeners, and I know it, and so thankful that you even pop in, and I hope you enjoyed our chat today, and again, I'll go back and read all of these and see if there's something we missed, and,
Yeah,
so everybody, hey, have a lovely week. Get out tomorrow, if tomorrow's a good
yes.
day to get out, or maybe at least this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Let's
see
let's all enjoy it because
yeah,
yeah,
let's just enjoy the that we can even get out and do something. So, alright, guys,